All right, here for game one, match two with our green white deck on the draw. So this hand seems fine. Obviously, we'd like to hit a land source. We got a couple looks at it. So the question is, if on turn three we don't draw a land, do we play the Kabu? Dear Lord, not with that thing. To me, you got to have a really good reason to put the Evangel in your deck. This is the best case scenario for it, right? 2-2. Maybe they suit it up with something. But Slimefoot's fine. It's a good card. I'm not worried that we can't beat it. We're going to play the Surveyor. Hope to fade a removal spell here when we play this Kabu next turn. We're not just going to trade the Surveyor because it may be relevant later on, and the 4 damage is not a big deal, especially if my opponent's spitting out 1-1. The 1-2 can be useful. We are going to attack with it, however. Guess we have to dodge the removal spell still. Could play Kavu and hold up Reproach, but just gonna play the Druid. He's got the trick. That's fine. We're happy to trade for fungal infection. Is probably the most annoying thing that could happen there. I know we can play around that, but I think you take that when they offer it. We're going to play the Kavu and hope there's no eviscerate or settle the score on the way. Kavu great in getting through these 1-1 tokens. But if opponent hit a land and has one of the 4-mana black removal spells, it's definitely a potential problem. Yeah, I just had flashbacks to like Coat with Venom. Like opponent taps out, attack, or rather swings out, block with Kavu, Coat with Venom. There's no Death Touch instant in this format, I don't think. I think the only trick that would make a big difference here would be Kicked Gift. They could sack the Saproling and offer the Kavu. That does get them to 4-mana removal. Do we Blessed Light that? Is that bad enough? Dreadshade. With 1 up. I mean, I guess we go for the 2-for-1 here. I don't feel like that's necessarily a controversial play. We're not at a long limb here. Let's just see what they do with the Kavu. I still, they have 4 cards in hand. Letting them dump their board is bad. Letting them get to the song in the end is like really terrible. We're going to hold up reproach, you know. End step fungal infection. Double fungal infection. Ooh, get me. I got, folks. I mean, something like Verdant Force is really bad. Torgar, I guess, would be pretty bad. Because you could tap a Saproling, sack the Saproling, play a land, and then you only need to use one Saproling on Torgar, send me to 6 and kill me, I think. Pretty close. I'm not into whatever they're doing, though. That's fine. Although I think I still have to Blessed Light the song. I think I'd die next turn if I don't. Double Reproach. Well, at least we can double spell this turn. What can my opponent respond with here? I guess a removal spell? He could Offering, like knowing I don't have a pump on the Kavu. I probably lose if he does that. Oh, he's just pumping up the Kavu. Or the Shade. He doesn't have to do that, though. Right? The ability is still there. They keep the ability. It's just got less blockers now. It's not like I'm really in a position to attack. Woof. Are we just stone dead? We're not dead, but we're obviously not long for this world. We got to take the worm hit. Or do I have to chump the worm? No, I can survive through the worm. We're still in a bad spot, and Grun does not get us out of it. What do we need? Crows and Druid there? I'm at 1. Is there any reason to keep playing? And you always want to make them show it to you, right? Can't play with Memorial. I still can't even draw 2 cards. I can't get. Do I have anything that could do something here? Create 2 bodies. No, I don't have a Sapperling. I don't have a Sapper. If I had a Sapper, maybe we'd get there. I mean, my opponent knows I have 2 cards. Maybe I can make him think. Oh, and I should have played that. I guess it doesn't matter, right? Let's just concede. There's no point in showing him more. Well, opponent did a good job keeping us off balance there. I feel like let's ditch the red to get the invokes. Two really powerful enchantments that our opponent showed us. Maybe we take the worm. Maybe we take the golem. I guess I don't have to cut both. I could just cut intervention and keep the fire. Could also swap to soul salvage or like nature spiral or worm. Sucks intervention does not kill the worm. We don't have a ton of ways to deal with the worm outside. I mean, we have our Blessed Light. The worm's actually a weirdly annoying card in this situation. Like, we have a lot of 5 power creatures. I think that the fire is fine, but it's not worth it. We'll just play the worm. Feels bad to take out really good cards for like mediocre cards, but gotta do what you gotta do. Familiar looking hand. Gotta keep it. I find this in my kind of like mulligan very little strategy that I'm using in the format, and with a bunch of the ways to get lands on 3, that I keep a lot of 2 mana, need to draw third hands. This like 3-drop heavy, not a lot of great 2-drop format. You don't have a lot of hands where you're sitting on a great 2-drop to play on turn 2, and 2 lands and 4 other spells. So far, the script very similar to last game. Be great to draw my Call of the Cavalry, which has been how this has gone a couple times. What's opponent up to? Migration. It's good with Song of Freyalise. It's like kind of tempting to play one of the copies, right? I have 2. And like I want to be efficient. It's not like I don't have other things to do with my mana. But I also just get to start playing them next turn as 5/5s. Maybe it's right to play Knight there because the Druid has utility later in the game. And I do have plans for the next few turns, so I'm happy to trade this with a trick. Oh, is it fungal infection again? Man, it's going to be a huge blowout if they play Bog Growth now or whatever. They don't have 2 black sources, so it can't be double fungal infection. It could be Vicious Offering. But right now we know their deck has 2 fungal infections, and we haven't seen any vicious outbreaks. So I think you play around the threat you know. Opponent making me really sweat it out here. I guess we have 2 turns to draw another land. Maybe ideally a Memorial. So then we play a land next turn, play a Kavu, play a Memorial the next turn, play another Kavu, play Grun. Opponent making us sweat it. Does he have it? What does he have? It's going to stink. My opponent got up and went to the bathroom and came back and they're like, oh, just Vicious Offering. I guess nothing. Gambled and lost. Do I attack with this Druid? And open myself up to what, like an Eviscerate? I guess they double block and Fungal Infection, they Fungal Infection and double block. Is that even worth it? I don't think so. Dark Bargain? Sack Offering? They had it! Wow, they were thinking about it the whole time. Woo, guys. So much drama. Folks, I guess I should say. So much drama there. So many things could have happened. If they Fungal Infection, they're just trading a card for this, and they get... Yeah, that's fine. Let's get lonely. No trample on the big guy, though. It's probably too good. Probably too good to potentially give people a 2020 trample. Maybe when you kick him, he should get trample. Just to make sure that he's so awesome that he can't possibly lose. I think we attack with the 10-10. And say, what do you got, opponent? If the opponent has something, we accept that. We have another great threat. And hope our opponent doesn't have 4 1/1s next turn. Dump our hand. Opponent forces us to sack the Druid. That's a great draw, too. I don't see any reason why not to cast our spells. Even Phyrexian doesn't save them here. Okay. All right. So we saw the Vicious Offering that time. I like opponent's deck. Really powerful sagas. Synergistic. Black green might be the best deck in the format, so I get temptation to try and play Soul Salvage to like see if we can blank the Eldest Reborn. A bunch of his creatures are spells, right? Like fungal infections and sapling migrations or whatever. So there's a good chance that if I can Soul Salvage the graveyard, he won't have anything to play. So maybe it makes more sense to play Nature Spiral here. We didn't see Settle the Score. What would we cut? Glider? Glider's like such a bad card against fungal infection. So let's cut Glider. Sure. Obviously, we'd hope to draw something to do in the beginning of this game. No bear. Play Surveyor like every game, basically. Dreadchain's kind of annoying here. So it could be a 6/6. At least we're insulated a little bit from Eldest Reborn here. We obviously take the trade here. Sure ourselves against fungal infection. Double fungal infection would be adorable. Five damage is real. Can I take another 5-er from him to advance my board? He has nothing on the board, though. And what's he going to do? Play like Eldest Reborn? It seems right to just blast just light the shade. Is there any reason not to do it? I mean, it's a little obvious to just hold up 5 mana, but Opponent's just walking right into it. All right. He played one fungal infection, right? That's fine. Right. They have an empty board. 2-3. Gosh. Opponent. What a master. Is there any reason I wouldn't trade Gift of Growth here with his only card in play? I mean, if he had a 5-drop, he would play it. I think he's fine trading this for a card, but I think I am too. Let's try and target his creature. Worm's not great here. It's or not great for me, I should say. Especially since my opponent has so many ways to interact at instant speed. So I don't really want to just gang block it, but I kind of don't want to chump. I'm 1 mana away from 10 life, though. I think I'm just going to eat it. There's so few ways to beat that card, which is so dumb. It's not a good card, you know? Now I think I have to stack block it, right? If I play the Druid, I get to play around some stupid trick. No, because I can put 7 in front of it, and he can deal all 7. No. We might even take the hit here. Oh, we definitely were meant to attack with our knight. That's actually pretty good for us, right? That's fine. It helps us cast our spells. Gives another body to chump if I have to chump. Definitely a thing that might happen. All right, we both have pretty powerful spells to draw from here. I think my opponent might have better ones. I think it's going to be a lot about who draws their powerful card first. 3/5s are real on this board. My opponent's seen a lot of approaches. I think they're playing around them at this point. Can I leave up approach if I do this? Yes, I can. I haven't really seen any card draw from our opponent. They are, however, just playing spells, which is a real thing. Ooh. What does that do for us? Gets us a spider. Spider's fine here. We're going to hold it for right now because we're not really under pressure to do anything. And they may give us something like the Druid again or some shenanigans. And we're just sitting here looking at each other, right? What wins the board stall here? I mean, Bird of Force. Would be great. Memorial not doing it. We're not living the dream right now. Song is problematic, right? It's just a clock. Is there a world in which we attack with the Kabu? There's Song. We don't have a way to buy something back to beat it. We've used both our ways to remove enchantments from the battlefield. I think we're okay, though. Maybe I should hold a land for a discard spell. We haven't seen a witch yet, but they may exist here. I think we're going to Animus the Spider just to reduce the number of things that are on the board that could kill me. But maybe the Menace guy is a bigger problem. It's exposed to me to fungal infection. Let's kill the Confessor. Did I just do that in the right order? My opponent's spending a lot of time thinking, which makes me think they have this stupid. Am I going to get God here? Spore Swarm. And then into it? Jeez. Opponent was sitting on cards, man. Good ones. I don't know why they were so reticent to use that earlier. If we drew our best card, can we stay alive? I'll have trample. I totally forgot that they all have trample, which is totally ridiculous. uh, what am I doing? I like genuinely forgot that they all have trample, which really is just like preposterous. So let's assume I'm at 11. I can give up a Saproling. I could probably give up the Druid here. So I'm at 11, taking 5, going to 6. I almost want the Druid to die so that I could get the Spiral back and then play the Druid again and gain 10 life and just extend the length of the game. Is that dumb? I have another Druid. My opponent is upset about the amount of time I'm taking. They've definitely taken longer to make some of their decisions. I also did not tell them I'm making a video. Yield 1/1 every turn. Okay. So now we're in like the most exciting part of the game, right? We just sit here and hope that we make enough things to kill them in one turn before we run out of time. Lag, sweet. Really well. Thorn Elemental, right? How many opponents is how many block? Just 6 blockers. So he blocks 1, 2, 3. He blocks these 4 and takes 7, 9, 11, 15, 18, pretty exactly. Okay, so we gotta wait another turn. Do I need to prepare for fungal infection, which like does things here? I just kind of want to draw something that makes me feel really secure about swinging out. He's only played one, right? Yeah. That is not it. That is not what makes me feel really secure. One more turn, and then we go for it. Because right, he'll be 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Blocks all of those. Okay. I feel pretty good about attacking from here. Because he can fungal infection. She's got 7 blockers. He blocks those 7 and doesn't die. But we can nature spiral back. There's nothing here that we can like save per se. So we'll neutral spiral back the Verdant Force. We're going to keep a significant amount of our board, obviously, but not just the 1/1s. Like we'll keep the worm and the knight, the 2/3, one of the 2/3s. Okay, he's got something else. It's a lot of things he's tapping. Wild Onslaught. So he's going to keep a lot of his guys. What does this do to me? Does this kill me? So his guy. I'll put 2 on each. Okay, so he kills. Now all these things stay alive. Literally every one of his guys survives. So he swings back, and I'm at 16. I think I just kill something while I can. He has another spell in hand that's relevant. Opponent has definitely held some smart stuff. Or I'm stupid. Some combination of the two. I mean, I may have punted. May have punted away the game. I guess I didn't account for my opponent playing two pretty significant spells. I would have loved to have drawn like something else that would have made a big difference in this game. I mean, Wild Onslaught's obviously great in his deck. I mean, my opponent has to kill me this turn, right? And I have two chump blockers. So I chump the two biggest things, and I'm dead. He didn't kill a druid, so I can't flash back a druid. He's got 11, so I need one more body. I have 8 mana, 9 mana, right? Verdant Force costs 8, so I'm one short of being able to play Verdant Force. So I guess I get a Kavu here or a Worm. Barring another trick or removal spell, he has something else, right? I mean, if he kills another guy, I'm dead. But he can't sack a dude. Oh, if he kills a 1/1, I guess I'm dead. Another. What was. Yeah, he's got to be sacking a 1/1, right? Can't believe he had one more Vicious Offering. I think I'm dead, right? All right. Well, that's a rough one. Definitely could have won that match and made a pretty bad mistake. But punting is something that you try and learn from. Obviously, it stinks to lose a game I really should have won. pulled the trigger just a little bit too early from when we needed to. Could have waited another 2 turns or whatnot. That would have got me around the amount of removal he had. Also could have drawn Thorn Elemental, which is kind of what I was hoping would happen. Oh well, you take the losses, you learn from them.